Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there is having a good day and a good weekend, y'all. We got one of the wildest TikTok mashups coming up today, y'all. Our banger of just clip after clip after clip, from theories to news happening to just crazy things happening in this world that just seem to never end. Let's have some fun today. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show.
Scientists have used artificial intelligence to create brand new viruses, 16 of them. Researchers at Stanford University and the Arc Institute say they trained an AI model called Evo on huge amounts of DNA data. Then that information was used to create the new synthetic viruses.
Sometimes these 18-wheelers look like a Coca-Cola truck, or it could be any big brand. And what they're responsible for is moving sensitive technology related to nukes around the country. And they were very much like, hey, don't go near the trailer itself. It will kill you. Like, okay, what do you mean by that? Well, some of them will electrocute you if you touch it. Some of them have like blowtorches and will melt you. And others have got some other crazy technology, like some of these trucks can bolt themselves to the earth. They'll launch bolts and cables down, violently wrench itself to the earth, which will blow out the tires so that even a helicopter cannot come lift that container off the back of the 18-wheeler. It's got some pretty cool defenses.
Are you out of your mind?
How about the mic? She's got the mic in a Lombardi trophy in some glass box that she takes to events that you pay $10,000 a plate to donate. It's still got the blood on it, by the way. But like, don't you think that should probably be in the chain?
Everything there
Thank you. Thanks for
has
pointing
evidentiary. You're going to get me spun up now.
Please,
Everything
Finn.
there, everything there has evidentiary value.
You see, like the way like Indians like looked.
Well, you know, those are fake pictures.
Which ones?
So the pictures that of the Native Americans that we see today, that was set up by a photographer to where they dressed up these people, the $5 Indians, and took pictures of them.
Oh yeah, literally $5 Indians.
No, this is serious.
Literally, they
This
paid
is for real.
$5 to get basically reparations.
Right.
Fuck out of here. I can't do this.
So again, so the pictures that you see, those are set up photo shoots.
Yikes.
And they're like, oh, this was the Native Americans, because they didn't want to show like the real Native Americans.
Ain't that a bitch?
So, yeah.
What do you do with this information?
History is crazy. I'm just telling you. They just lie. They lie
Damn, I
about
don't like
everything.
history.
They lie about everything.
History was my worst subject. I hated history.
I love history now because, again, it shows, even in the lies that they tell, you discover yourself like, oh, okay, this is the truth. Because this doesn't make sense. Like with the slavery thing, just logistically bringing people over, it doesn't make sense.
No, this not the way that they say they did. Like, it does not work that way.
Why is there pyramids here way before they came?
Because they lying through their teeth.
Watch this video.
Yeah,
Okay, watch this. A SpaceX rocket crashed into the moon, leaving a 100-foot crater. Okay, pretty good looking video right there.
yeah, it's a nice movie
video
by Ridley
footage-
Scott.
Yeah, no video footage of the SpaceX rocket impact exists, as it was not visually observed. The crash is confirmed only by tracking data, and the crater has not yet been imaged. So they created this video to say if it would have happened, this is what it would have looked like.
People can now pay for priority hurricane evacuation, meaning survival could be determined by wealth. A new company, Priority Evac, just launched a membership program to provide the service during hurricane season. For $12.50 a year, you guarantee yourself an evacuation for 2 hurricanes from June through November. Pets cost extra. This feels a bit like the Titanic when first-class passengers were prioritized over working-class ones. Unfortunately, it's nothing new. Studies frequently show that wealthier neighborhoods are able to evacuate disasters, whereas lower-income neighborhoods aren't. Money gives people the power to get on flights, drive, and get lodging. During the LA wildfires, victims contracted private firefighters to get protection faster. And often disaster relief funds prioritize wealthier areas. All of this just worsens inequality in the US. But as companies like this start popping up more, will evacuations and disaster relief become completely privatized? And if so, what happens to the people who can't pay for it? Because under the Trump administration, emergency relief programs have been slashed, as well as weather monitoring. Meanwhile, natural disasters are only getting worse and more frequent. Priority Evac says it's here to help the prepared household. In reality, it's for the wealthy household. This is the new American disaster response.
Well, I looked at my life, and I had a lot of time when I was going through chemotherapy where I didn't feel well enough to do anything. I couldn't walk up a series of stairs. I sat in bed and I went down the rabbit hole questioning, why did my lymphatic system crash? what was so toxic in my life where my body just said, I'm out. So I started looking at my world and my environment, and there were a lot of toxic elements in my environment. It was my toothpaste, my soap, my shampoo, my body lotion, our garbage bags, our toilet paper, the clothes I was wearing, my wash band, my socks, my underwear. It was everything had something really bad in it.
Why did they show Fauci now in front of our trusted Congress? We trust Congress. They're here to help us. They would never send our young, innocent children to get slaughtered. I mean, it's always a just cause for America to be free, right? Yes, indeed. Why would Congress right now roll out Fauci? Well, sire, this internet is killing us. I know Larry Ellison is spending millions and billions to do what he can, and so many other people are, but these damn children are making videos, and we can't keep up with their so-called propaganda. I mean, we're losing this war, and people are saying that it was all a hoax. And, well, that's a misinformation. Yes, I know that, sire, but so many of them around the world. I mean, it's coming out more and more. Throw them out, Fauci, so they'll be justified. Let those two look at each other and fight once again, the vaxxers and the anti-vaxxers.
I'll tell you right.
Pretty much, right? Pretty much. Then you got people, big time podcast people like Joe Rogan coming out. Fauci and Bill Gates are monsters. What about everybody else? You call everybody out. You ain't gonna call your friend out, the one you took pictures behind with your hand on his shoulder, right?
Exactly where to go. Zoom in on Lake Ontario.
Oh, that
Okay.
yeah, right.
Now, yeah, there's the Finger Lakes. And then north of there, between Lake Ontario and the Finger Lakes, are the Drumlin Fields. But go in, zoom in on eastern Lake Ontario, right about there. Now kind of go to the west, and where it says Lake Ontario, center that. Put that on your center. That's pretty damn close to where the impact would have been, right there.
We lied about Vietnam. We lied about Iraq. We lied about Afghanistan. We lied about Somalia. We lied about Libya. We put more small arms and medium arms into the hands of terrorist groups the world over by not securing Gaddafi's weapons caches in Libya than any arms merchant has ever put into the world. Did the same thing in Iraq. We failed to secure Saddam Hussein's arm caches. We didn't have enough troops to do it, so we just left them for Al-Qaeda and ISIS and others to have their...
When you were deployed, did you see anything? Because there's a lot of stories of like people seeing,
Yeah.
like, especially in the remote desert.
My team sergeant, when I was on 7-5, he was real strong Christian. They were having lots of firefights in this town. It was just chaos. But every night he'd go up on the roof and pray. This one night he went up on the roof and then this dust devil just starts. And he said it was literally like a tornado of sand just around him. And he starts hearing like it was a pig getting slaughtered, just screaming out in the village. And he just feels this dark presence. So he just keeps praying, professing the name of Jesus. And he said the sand just stopped. The screaming stopped. And he said after that, like the firefight stopped. It was a completely different environment going out in the town.
Holy cow.
There's lots of stories of people like having experiences and seeing things and just divine protection.
It should be mandatory to have security at movie theaters or at least metal detectors. This is coming from someone who loves buttering up some popcorn and seeing a good ass movie. I have crippling anxiety in the movie theater. I turned into a fucking FBI agent when I entered that movie. I'm looking around, I'm building a case on everybody in the fucking theater. I'm looking to see who's got a bag, who's got a backpack, who's coming into the movie halfway through. This shit isn't a game to me. It's getting to the fucking point where I can't even enjoy my movie. I don't know, you tell me, am I crazy for this?
Have you noticed how we've not built any new cemeteries? Like any city, town you go to, they still have the same cemeteries they've had for hundreds of years. And people pass away all the time, yet these cemeteries never seem to fill up. There are always open plots of land where you can bury someone. So where are the bodies? Where are they going? What's happening to them? I've got this interesting theory that I've heard. Now, in the 1970s, there was this movie called Soylent Green. Now, Soylent Green was this movie starring Charlton Heston, and it was about this futuristic city in which the world had become overpopulated. They had destroyed the oceans, they had destroyed the earth, and times were really rough. And none of the people in the city could afford to buy any groceries. They couldn't afford just the normal things we get every day at the store. So, in order to keep them from starving, they were sold this very cheap stuff that was made in the factory. It was like a squared cracker or ration, and it was called Soylent Green or yellow or red. And the people, because they were hungry, because they were starving, they would protest like every day. They would go out into the streets and have these huge protests. But these trucks would come around, they would pick them up and take them away. And all these people were like disappearing. So Charlton Heston's character, who is this detective, he starts investigating this mysterious case, which leads him to the factory where they make this Soylent Green. And what he discovers is that the Soylent Green is made from humans. And when you kind of look around now, right, the same things are happening that happened in that movie, right? We're slowly destroying the oceans, the earth. Groceries have become unaffordable. They are now a luxury to most. And you wonder, the foods that we're getting that are so cheap that we're able to afford to buy, the only stuff that we can eat, what is it made of? Now, I'm curious what you think. Why do you think we are not building any new cemeteries?
Water. We made of water. We live underwater. It's humidity in the air. I keep saying this. People don't listen. We never got out of water, right? When a baby is born in a mama's stomach, the baby got eyes on the side of the head, so the baby's a fish, right? I don't think you understand. All the possibilities are possibilities when you live on Earth, right? We live underwater.
You talking about like Down syndrome or something?
No, ain't no Down syndrome, gang. I'm talking about we live underwater. I'm talking about we live underwater. We lock inside a firmament, right? But all of this is water, right? Because they have now saw, and they are witnesses, people use copper to pull water from the sky, right? I'm talking about right here in the earth, straight from all this, pulling water, and it's drinking water, and it's better than spring water.
Have you guys ever heard about the parking lot theory? Essentially, when people enter a parking lot such as this, there's only two types of people. Person one will literally circle the entire parking lot until they can find a spot up in the front, even if they have to squeeze into a tiny little spot. Well, person number two will just park in the back because it only takes another 10 seconds to get to the front. And that small decision reveals a lot about how people think. Some people are just hardwired to always take shortcuts in life, while others don't mind going the extra distance if it means it's simpler and less stressful. But this has nothing to do with parking lots and has everything to do with that some people prioritize instant gratification while others can see the long vision. They embrace delayed gratification, they prioritize ease and making faster decisions.
What are you guys? I'm the park far, right? I ask my lady, you mind walking? I ask her that pretty much all the time. Of course, if there's a front parking spot, I'm gonna take it, but I'm not gonna sit there and wait for one, right? But even like driving, and I'm like, I'm not gonna risk, like, say you got to make a left and on oncoming traffic, right? Like, I'll to make life easier, I'll make a right and go make a U-turn just to avoid the headache, the chance. You know what I mean? Like, I take the long way a lot. I'll do that a lot. And I'll see people risk life, like going, rushing. I'm like, this idiot could have just made a right and made a U-turn and it would have been a lot easier instead of risking that. But I guess, you know, how he put it, you know, what's your mindset?
We're talking conspiracy theories this morning, and my husband has an interesting theory.
Okay, so you know how there's a bunch of people in the world. A lot of folks die. But we ain't got no new cemeteries. Like nowhere. It's all
out here,
cemeteries.
I'll tell you that.
So where's all the bodies?
My mind has been blown. Like, it's true. We don't have any new cemeteries.
Everywhere, y'all.
Very interesting.
It's everywhere, you know, not just in their town. I know out here, there's no new cemeteries out here, y'all. There's one in downtown Phoenix at the Stack, the one on Northern. That's the only two I can think of, y'all. Like, where is there new cemeteries in your area? Do you guys have any new ones? New 100-acre cemetery, you know, because you would think that would make the news. Buc-ee's was breaking news out here when it opened, y'all, all over.
So Google says approximately 1.5 million people are cremated annually. And approximately 700,000 people are buried every year. But Google also says that 3.25 million people die every year. So where do those 850,000 other bodies go?
We're going to find out coming up.
Stop now.
I used to study theosophy.
Coming
I
up.
was locked up with the man they say killed Michael Jordan daddy. The man they say killed Michael Jordan daddy name is Daniel Green. He innocent. He did not kill Michael Jordan daddy. North Carolina know he didn't do that shit. North Carolina know Michael Jordan some bullshit. And a lot of people think Michael Jordan sacrificed his daddy. He didn't. His father got killed on a humbug, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was some bullshit. It really was some bullshit. It was some humbug shit, you feel me? So me being locked up with him, he taught me about theosophy. You know what I'm saying? And I wrote the Theosophical Society, and I got a part of the prison outreach program. Got a mentor and everything. And they was sending me lessons and shit, and I was snapping, bro. See, I was already studying with the Moors and the God bodies.
Joe Phelps was about to upload all the Bibles that he had found that were older than 200 years online so that everyone could take a look at them 4 days before he was about to upload these Bibles online and actually like copy them. Because if you guys don't know, they're getting rid of a lot of older books. He gets taken out. And these books had information about Freemasonry. These books had information about technology that we currently don't even know about, that was, used back then. I mean, like cathedrals, free energy, all these things were in those books, in those older Bibles. But he gets taken out 4 days before all the information is given out to everybody. There's got to be something sinister behind that. There's got to be a power that wants all that information hidden. And people are asking the same question, but we still don't know what even killed him. We don't even know the cause of his death. And this just goes to show you, they are trying to suppress the Bible and the name of Jesus Christ as well. Like, this is something huge, guys.
You want to hear? It was something to that, but knowing what you know, when you get on videos and say, like, if I get taken out, it wasn't me, it was the government. If you're talking like that, why are you going to come out and say, on August 10th at 4:00 p.m. Eastern, I am going to put all these out? Like, why are you going to give them that heads up? Just put the damn thing out and then see what happens there. You know what I mean? Why are you going to tip them off? Because they're watching. Why are you going to tip them off when that could be a possibility outcome? I would just drop the damn thing without saying anything. If you're in danger like that. Because if you're in that type of danger, you already know you're being watched. You already know you got that phone call. Hey, don't do it before you do it.
Really wild stat, though.
Yeah.
We are at 193 countries. I believe we are number 3 in gun violence. Okay. But if you were to take the 5 cities where there is the most gun violence, Chicago, Philly, I think Houston, Chicago, Philly, Detroit. I don't know if it's LA, but I think it is LA.
Just share numbers.
Yep. LA. So it's all these cities. If you were to take out the cities and they all have the strictest gun controls. So it's St. Louis, Detroit, it's Chicago, it's Philadelphia, and I think it's Los Angeles. And they have the very, very tight gun laws. Keep in mind, they are blue. I'm just saying, but if you were to take them out of the equation, we would not be the 3rd, we would be the 189th. That's pretty significant.
If people cannot see air, can fish not see water?
Okay, that's your question.
So if we could see water, can fish see air?
Oh, that was a good question. Hold on,
Can fish not see water?
Can fish not see water?
And can fish see air and people can see water?
Ooh, bars.
That's hold on.
So I'm at work, right? And I'm working. And as I'm working, I'm literally thinking to myself, like, what the hell are we doing here? Like, bro, serious question. What are we doing here? We literally wake up and do the same thing every single day. No matter how many times you change your routine, no matter how many times you do things differently, we wake up doing the same things constantly all year round, every single day. Now, some of y'all might not notice because some of y'all are just caught up in worldly things. But if you really sit back and think about it, right? If you get into a quiet place, like me, I'm at work, I'm in my quiet place, right? Quiet place. If you really think about it, bro, what the hell are we doing here? We wake up, we brush our teeth, we wash our face, we comb our hair, we get dressed, we go to work, we clock in. And then if you think about it, we do the same job task every single day. Bro, you cannot convince me that we do not live in a simulation. Because if we didn't, why are we doing the same things every day? We see the same people every day. Like, literally, we see the same people every day.
Yeah.
You even go to the grocery store. You probably seen somebody that you saw 2 weeks ago. You'll end up seeing that same person again. Like, bro, what the hell is going on? And then it's like, you get tired of eating certain foods because it's like, you find yourself eating the same foods all the time, every week, back to back. Bro, what is going on? I've been working, right? And it's like, I find myself looking at the same objects every single day. And it's not because I'm doing it on purpose. It's not intentionally. It's not that. But bro, I literally be seeing and running into the same things every single day. What is going on? What the hell are we doing here? What are we doing here? I don't know, bro, but something ain't right. Something's not right.
Wait, hold on. What is... Photo on his website? The real photo. Wait, are these hands real? I don't know what I don't even know I don't know what's happening right now. Wait, the women's faces are at the exact same angle. People are saying it's like the exact same face. Is it though? No. Hold on. Oh no. Wait. It is fake. This is a fake picture. Oh shit.
You said, how old were you when you became a millionaire?
What makes you think I'm a millionaire?
Man, I've interviewed over 40 billion in the last 4 years. I grew to another 21 million followers.
Let me help with in if they want to know how you became a millionaire.
I'm not a
Could I just ask one question, sir? If you had one advice to the younger generation of entrepreneurs,
give one piece of advice to the younger
I'm not going to be full.
Wait, Dad, can you just give one piece of advice
No,
to
I
the
don't
younger
wanna-
generation on
no.
how to be successful?
No.
Dad,
You know
if
how I
you can
became
give-
successful?
give the youth
By
one
doing
piece
what
of
I want to
advice.
do, and this is not what I want to do.
Yeah, it's not one picture, dude. They do this all the time. What are you freaking out the squares? Well, nobody was freaked out. Now,
Oh,
here's what I want to tell you
It's
about.
so unsettling to look at.
Yeah, well, look at him and his son.
Yeah, go to the one with him and his son.
His
Steve.
son went to rehab 18 times.
Ugh.
Now, I'm going to tell you this, and you can disagree with me, and nobody has to believe shit I'm saying, but I don't
Okay.
believe personally that anybody goes to rehab 18 times because they weren't viciously sexually abused. I don't believe that anyone goes to rehab 18 times unless they are being gaslit professionally on behalf of their fucked up family.
Yeah.
That's what I think. It's just what I think. But what happened when the thing, oh, it's terrible, this kid. There's channels talking about what a piece of shit this kid is for stabbing both his parents. And like, yeah, maybe he just is really selfish, but that seems really strange to me. All these Hollywood people's kids are like this. And if you remember Mackenzie Phillips from, One Day at a Time, the 70s, and Wilson Phillips was a band her half sister was in. The Mamas and Papas guy, I don't know, John Mamas or Phillips. John Phillips, she had an incestuous relationship with him. She wrote a book about it. Came out in 2007. Showing Larry King talking about it. If you go on Control History, they talk about how there was a Reddit message board from someone named Starchild. That's the name they went by. Talk about all this shit we're talking about now. I didn't hear of it back then. Now, people theorize that it was Walter Koenig's son, but that's just a theory because Starchild, Star Trek.
Mm-hmm. That's bonkers.
You saw Gene Roddenberry's creepy ass shit, right?
No.
You haven't seen this?
No.
Jay? Okay. Jay from Project Unity showed it to me. Do you know Jay?
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, that guy rules, dude.
Yeah, he's great.
I fucking love Jay. So he showed it to me. Is Gene Roddenberry talking about, he sounds like the Family Guy guy that likes Peter's kid.
Quagmire?
No, the old file guy with the weird dog. Like, that muscle on paper boosh. And he like
the
whistles.
old man. Yeah.
Roddenberry talks like him. And he's saying shit. I'm trying to, if you can't find it, I'll find it. But it's such a creepy sample, dude.
This guy?
Yeah. Yeah, take it back a little bit.
It's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
What's he talking
it
about
must be
here?
right at the part where it's at the right part. You can find it isolated too.
Okay. Would you tell us a little bit about your family?
Oh yeah, here we go.
I've been very fortunate in family. I've had 2 marriages.
He sounds
both
just
happy.
like him.
In my first marriage, I had 2 lovely daughters, and I had the joy in that marriage of girls.
They don't tell us. There's something kind of like that happened just recently out here in Arizona. A kid, he was a young kid, he was 27 years old. At first, they called it missing persons, 3 people missing. But then it came out that the son offed his parents, right? Buried them in the backyard. And now he's on the run and fled the country. What caused him to do that? Was there some darkness that happened in that house for his whole life? You know what I mean? I don't think you get upset like over a fight and do something to that extent, right? But who knows? They won't tell us. I know that. They still aren't telling us that it's his parents back there, but you put two and two together. But that's a story I'm gonna keep an eye on for you guys and see what's going on with that.
That you should keep your wisdom to.
You should.
Why?
Because it has wisdom. It's actually connected to your pineal gland.
Okay.
So if you remove your wisdom teeth, you're more disconnected from your third eye.
Is that why they're constantly doing it in the dentist's office?
Why do you need to remove your wisdom teeth, especially if they're not giving you any problems? And here's another thing about wisdom teeth. So when they show you an x-ray and you're like, oh, your wisdom teeth are coming in, but they're coming in crooked, so we got to remove them, right? So when you have them, like, we got to pull them, right?
Okay.
They're showing you a premature x-ray. Because when your wisdom teeth are growing in, they'll do this. Okay? They're not doing this the whole time.
Right.
Does that make sense? It'll go into your tongue.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. So they're showing you a premature outread of what's to come versus, hey, let's just let it happen and yeah, then we'll see.
Switzerland.
They took mine out when I was young, right? They weren't bothering me or nothing, but my mom made the call. I was at the dentist. Do you want us to take them out? They're showing up. They weren't bothering me or nothing, but they went in, cut my gums up, sewed them back up, and took them out. So there's something to that, y'all. Like, why? They're okay. They're not hurting them. But, propaganda tells you this is going to give them problems soon. Let's just take care of them now. Like, I'm sure some of you guys, let me know down below, you've had problems where they hurt because people say they hurt, right? Let me know down below. Have you had them taken out because of pain, or has it always been, I know my dad's never had his taken out, never had a problem with it. But some people, they just have the pain. I don't know.
Are quietly preparing for the end of the world. They've been hustling for decades. You wouldn't know it by just looking at them, but underneath around 60% of the Swiss Alps, they've built a city of doomsday bunkers that can protect hundreds of thousands of people in a catastrophic event. In fact, Switzerland is the only country in the world that can house their entire population, 8.7 million people, in a secure bunker. And they're not just old, forgotten World War II structures slowly crumbling away. They are continuously updated and restocked with supplies till this day. You see, Switzerland decided they needed to, excuse the pun, lock in after Germany promised to not invade them during World War II. They not only transformed the peaceful Swiss Alps into an absolute fortress and rigged it with enough explosives to collapse entire mountainsides, but the Swiss government also made it a law for homes, schools, hospitals, and other public buildings to install protective shelters, and that policy remains till this day, meaning the entire country is designed in a way that wherever you go, whether it's a restaurant, a park, or a friend's house, there's always a doomsday bunker nearby. According to official figures, Switzerland currently has around 300,000 bunkers across the country, which can accommodate roughly 9.3 million people. That's over 500,000 more than the country's current population. And once they're safely inside, they can even remotely detonate things like roads, bridges, tunnels, and railways to keep out invaders, or I guess, the unprepared.
Please tell me y'all have seen this video of this professor doing a class during COVID. Now, I'm pretty sure this was in Argentina. A professor was doing his class for COVID. He was talking on his live stream, on Zoom or whatever. But watch what happens as he's introducing everyone and getting into his lecture. Everything seems completely normal. He's talking, he's saying what they're going over that day, but when you look at his reflection in the window behind him, you'll notice that it turns around and looks at him. Now, this particular video was captured by a student in his class who recorded the lectures in the first place to remember them, but they captured this. Now watch his reflection. It turns around, it looks at him as he continues to talk. The weirdest part about all of this is all the classmates in this particular session, they say that this man wasn't their original professor. And when they went back to school, he wasn't there, which makes this even more creepy. They think the whole thing could have been paranormal. What do you think?
20 UFOs spotted racing across the moon. Is there a secret moon base that is harboring aliens? Well, it doesn't have to be aliens. Do you think it's possible that our government or some other government has set up a moon base? You know what's funny is that it's certainly within the realm of possibilities. And the honest question is, why not? No, seriously, I mean, since the Apollo missions, they say we've not gone back. Some people don't think we can actually go, and there is a budding movement, Flat Earth. What if this? What if the Flat Earth conspiracy videos are allowed to propagate because it makes people think it's impossible that the U.S. is operating a moon base? I think the possibility the U.S. is operating a moon base is actually pretty high, and that we might have craft that can launch from the moon.
My wife says that if you don't tip at Shake Shack, they make it more expensive per item, so we're about to find out. Find out. Order 2 shakes just like before.
Okay. See, $5.99.
Okay.
We got strawberry. We got cookies and cream.
Hey, let's see.
And we got vanilla
This is what we
with
just ordered.
card.
Okay, there it is.
See that? Let's say check out. And then say, right here, no.
Uh-oh, there's been a pricing update on one of your card items. Please review. Everything just went up 50 cents. Every item went up by 50 cents. Making sure everybody knows, do not go there.
What's your This is gonna be their downfall, y'all. The greed. I went to shit. They built a Shake Shack out here, y'all. I remember I got it a long time ago. And I was like, that was one of the best burgers I ever had. Right. I went to Shake Shack for 2 burgers, 2 fries. I think my lady got a drink. I drink water. It's like $40. Right there, I was like, enjoy this burger because we ain't coming back. Right. Y'all, when I opened, first of all, I got a double and they gave me a single, so that's already a problem. But I'm telling you, they were smaller than a damn cheeseburger from McDonald's, y'all. Tiny burgers. I was like, I was done with them. But this greed, this is going to be their downfall. How do they not see this? How do they not see their stocks are down, their ratings are down, everything is down. They don't think like, damn, we're being greedy. They're getting burgers for 10 cents and selling it to us for $3, y'all. They don't want to give up that greed, and it's going to be their downfall. It always is. Greed is always the downfall.
Personal recession indicator.
Dude, I know a recession is coming because one of my best friends, who's a real estate agent, just told me that he wants to apply to law school.
The biggest recession indicator to me right now is how people react when they find out somebody they know live at home with their family.
My neighborhood, at least the part that I drive through, okay, I can spot at least 10 for sale signs alone.
I just found out that people have been creating LLCs and companies and then adding them as a LinkedIn page and then giving themselves an internship.
Looking all natural is coming back in. Like, even the bitches who have the money don't want to spend it on plastic surgery.
Recession indicator number 59. I ordered food last night. Opened the door, delivered by a white woman.
My personal recession indicator is the fact that I just opened up my last jar of tomato sauce, my last jar of marinara, pasta sauce, whatever you want to call it. I just opened my last one.
The biggest recession indicator should have been when tip percentages became minimum 18%.
I think the biggest recession indicator is that famous lesbians are getting boyfriends.
You don't see any more help wanted signs. Where are the help wanteds? No one needs help? It's recession.
You come to Dollar Tree for some groceries and you still spend like $40. What? At Dollar Tree?
It's 6 p.m. at Outback Steakhouse. I'm used to this being like completely packed.
Major corporations across the country are now getting billions of dollars in tariff refunds, but American consumers are getting almost nothing back. So where's your cut?
That is the big question, and we're going to bring in CNN senior business reporter David Goldman to try to make it make sense for us. David, where is our tariff refund?
Yeah, I want to know where my tariff refund is, and I think a lot of Americans do too, because they shelled out $1,000 last year in tax expenses because of all of those tariffs. But remember, 20% of the tariff costs went to consumers. That means the other 80% went to corporations. And so the bad news is that, America, you are not owed anything. I'm really sorry to be the bearer of bad news. The reason is that corporations are the ones who pay the tariffs, not consumers. Although consumers paid some of that in the form of higher prices, they weren't actually going to the Customs and Border Patrol and handing over their tariff check the way that corporations were. But that was a lot of money that was spent on tariffs. $166 billion on the tariff refunds that are coming back to corporations because the Supreme Court declared those illegal. Well, so
the Aztecs had obsidian mirrors that let you see your other self, and the CIA tried to recreate them. His name was Tezcatlipoca, Lord of the Smoking Mirror. In every codex, he is painted with a black mirror where his foot should be, where his chest should be, on his temple. The name of the Aztec god, Tezcatlipoca, was Lord of the Smoking Mirror, a reference to obsidian. They believed obsidian was frozen smoke from the underworld. Polished, it didn't reflect you, it revealed you, the part of you that lives in the dark. When the Spanish came, they brought those mirrors to Europe as loot. One ended up in the hands of John Dee, astrologer to Queen Elizabeth I, the most powerful magus in England. He didn't use it to see his face. Dee used the polished mirror as a scryer to try to commune with spirits. That mirror is still on display today in the British Museum's Enlightenment Gallery. 400 years later, the CIA tried to rebuild it. Project Stargate, a top-secret program launched during the Cold War to explore the potential of psychic phenomena, particularly remote viewing. They used black mirrors, isolation, gazing until the reflection disappears. They called it scrying. The Aztecs called it Tezcatlipoca's gaze. You stare at black until you stop seeing your face and start seeing what is looking back through your eyes. The mirror was never a tool. It was a door.
This is what we call the zone of prevention. It's very hard to get cancer or chronic diseases when you're in these zones because you're keeping this organelle quite healthy.
90.
90? You divide it by 18 and you get a number.
5.
5. You had a ketone with 0.4 millimolar. So divide 5 by 0.4.
12.5.
Okay, 12.5. You're down here in the prevention zone.
Ah, nice.
Okay. This is where Paleolithic man mostly lived. Paleolithic man lived in the yellow-green zones because they didn't have access to all of the things that would drive up your blood sugar. When your blood sugar goes through the roof, your ketones are really low because insulin is now driving it up. I did the carnivore diet for a week, eating big ribeyes. I was able to get down to 10. This is what we call the zone of prevention. It's very hard to get cancer or chronic diseases when you're in these zones because you're keeping this organelle quite healthy.
When you live in these zones consistently?
You don't have to live consistently because humans, we evolved as a scavenger species.
Yeah.
We would engorge ourselves because we knew it wasn't happening every day. Modern man is living in the feast every single day. And that's why we have all the chronic diseases. This is the red zone, is the zone of risk for chronic diseases and cancer. We can visit the red zone. We don't want to live in the red zone.
Right, I'm not usually the one to do this type of shit, or when I see this stuff online, I really don't believe it. But this kind of threw me out a little bit because I noticed this, and I always look at like little details on my car. I don't know why I've always been that way, but anyways, you see the W, and you see the dots. W stands for woman, and dot stands for how many kids she had, right? Okay, now that's my car, right? And my girl has driven my car before. This one is her car. Now, obviously, when she drove her car, she was alone, didn't have the kids with her. That's W, right? And before people were like, oh, yeah, you put that on yourself, yada, yada, yada. Nope. See that? Look how hard I'm pressing. Yep. And I would not do that to my own cars, especially when these cars are fairly new. So be careful. Pay attention to your surroundings.
Never know, y'all.
You know.
So you're telling the truth.
See that? Look how hard I'm pressing.
57 bodies. Not one of them was refrigerated. Oh, a mother, she shows up and she's asking if hers was in the pile. That is Chicago this week, right now, right this second. There is a funeral home on 95th Street, and there are 57 people in different stages of decomposition. Flies, the smell, neighbors, they said that they've been smelling it since wintertime. And this woman stands outside the funeral home and said, I just hope she's not in there, but something tells me that she is. I've been a funeral director for a long time, and stories like this one, they don't just break my heart, they scare me. Because this is what nobody is saying. Every time one of us desecrates the dead, we teach the living that the dead don't matter. And when people believe the dead don't matter, they stop calling us to celebrate a life. They start seeing a funeral as this transaction to avoid and not a sacred goodbye to have. That is the real damage right here. Not just the 57 families betrayed, the loved ones. A whole culture is taught to value life a little less. So let me say the opposite as loud as I can. That person mattered. Their body mattered. Their name mattered. And the people who do this work right, we would carry your mother like she was our own. Because she was somebody's entire world. And an entire world deserves to be honored and not hidden in some closet on 95th Street. Please don't let the worst of us make you believe the dead don't deserve the best of us.
Yeah, but if we didn't have the, I don't know how much it is, 15, 20,000 to bury and do the wake with you, hey, there's a funeral home over there on 95th Street. They'll probably be able to help you out, right? He'd send our ass over there. But that's not the only place, y'all. There's just the one that got caught, the one that did it wrong. You can't say there's not multiple out there doing that. They're just doing it, better. They're not leaving them in a freaking heated room, right? So you just don't know, y'all. You just don't know. You just don't know.
5 things I will never do after working in police dispatch. Hi, my name's Abby. I've been saying 911 where's your emergency for about 5 years now. And keep in mind, these are things that I personally would not do based on calls that I've had. To each their own, free will exists. Number 1 is going to be most obvious, riding a motorcycle. They are called donor cycles in the ER for a reason. I view it as we are exposed meat sacks traveling at high speeds on a high-powered bicycle. No thanks. Once I learned what street pizza was, it's a big no from me, dog. Number 2 is going to be having any form of open container in my car. Now, obviously, drinking and driving is frowned upon. Do not give that man his keys. However, a lot of people have the misconception that your passenger can have a road soda. That is also not okay. Any form of open container can get your passenger and you pulled out of the car. It's just a headache. Number 3 is going to be ignoring any weird smells in my house. Gas, smoke, electrical burning. People wait far too long because they don't realize a problem is burning underneath them. Check those heating pads. Don't fall asleep with them. Number 4, I've been a victim of myself. Driving on bald tires. Bald! You're bald! And so are your tires. Go get them changed, please. I lost control in the rain. It was probably one of the scariest experiences I've ever had. Finally, number 5, I'm a victim of as well. Don't leave your phone dead. Whether it's a crash, a medical emergency, or just a simple breakdown on the side of the road, you always need to have access to emergency services. Keep that phone on.
We might be more advanced now, but it doesn't mean we are necessarily smarter. Like, look at this. When did we stop valuing beauty? Why did we stop valuing beauty? Did we forget in the last 100 years that beauty influences our subconscious, that our environments, the things we see, impacts who we become? When did we forget? Look at this. Someone tell me, someone explain to me, why?
As you watch this video, you're watching me in my past, and I'm looking at you in your present. So we're both looking at each other from different timelines of existence, but both sharing the same moment. How does that work? How am I talking to you from the past, in the future? And we still feel this connection as we talk. You look at me in my eyes, so I know you're listening. I'm talking to you through time, and you've labeled it as entertainment. This ain't a video for fucking entertainment. I don't give a fuck about none of this. This ain't entertainment no more. Can you see your face right now as you watch this video? No. Only thing you can see is the experience. Probably your hand holding the phone right here or right here. Everything in your peripheral vision, the colors, the shapes that you have contextualized and labeled as a remote or a tree or a disc or a book or a bed, but in reality it's just a color and a fucking shape with a sensation that makes you feel like it's real. When has, just because it makes a sound, that makes it real? Okay. In your books. My point of saying this is, this time that you're supposedly on is such a critical foundation in your life and you don't even understand it. You don't understand that things can happen like this. Okay? But no matter how fast they happen, when they happen, how long it took, you were always in one spot. And it was the present moment. This moment. The future, the past, the waiting, the patience is all contextualized aspects of this reality. E equals MC squared. Energy is matter. All matter is energy. You can't leave. You can't leave here because you never arrived. All is, period. You're not waiting on something to happen. Something to happen is waiting on you. And if that can't stick for you, if you just don't know how to navigate through life while being consciously aware, that's exactly why I created You Don't Have a Face. Give you frameworks to walk around boundless to the illusions of your own game. Sign up for my email list, link in the bio, or go to youdon'thaveaface.com. Just put your email. That's all you got to do. Just type letters like you do all fucking day and put your email. I love y'all unconditionally, man. Are you watching me or am I watching you?
Well, you know, there's a huge issue going on.
It's currently 110 degrees in Las Vegas.
So let me give you a little history. You can jump in whenever you want. There was a huge meeting with a lot of countries in Kigali, Africa, and they had something called the Kigali Agreement, where they were going to change the propellant, the gas, whatever it is, for global warming. And every country had 15 years to adjust. We had 15 months. Ours is done. Our 15 months ended in April. So now only 2 companies control basically the freon that's made in this country. And it's worse for the environment. And it is more flammable. And it's 10 times more expensive. And it is manufactured in China and then assembled in Mexico. That's 2 boats. None of our guys get it. If you realize what's happening when you hear about AI, they say HVAC guys are the new pimps.
Yeah.
And so this is a huge problem. I got involved and I had a meeting with Lee Zeldin, and they're trying to relax some of these requirements that were approved during the Biden administration. And so right now you're seeing this shit. Like we're having, and so when Mandami says put your shit to 78, in France, there was a huge fight in multiple stores, people fighting over not just air conditioning, fans. In London, they want to ban air conditioning.
So you think that it's not about electricity? Huh? You think it's not about the electricity use? You think it's about the freon?
It has to do with what I'm talking about is the gases. It's all dirty. It has the electricity is huge.
Bro, I think,
but only 2 companies own it in America. One is called Honeywell, and there's a $425 million lawsuit that they have to pay out.
I think we should ban air conditioning.
Oh, stop it!
Yeah, just banned outright.
Oh my God.
No more, none for anybody.
Dude,
Stop
Vegas
it.
is awesome
And
because of air
Says
conditioning.
the guy who's like, turn the fucking AC on. I'm melting.
No. Hey, they could be on their way to doing that, right? He might have made some sense because what are they doing right now? What is your electricity bill? I've been in Arizona my whole life, y'all. In the summertime, my electricity bill never went over like 150, right? Wintertime, it's like 60. 70. Y'all, my electricity bill is $400. So what are the people going to do? Right? They have these plans where it's a flat fee. I switched to that. It's a flat fee of like $300 now, which is crazy still. But what are the everyday people going to do, y'all? They're going to raise their AC up. They're going to raise it up. So they think their AC is going to go down, but it's not. It might go down a little bit. So they're getting people ready to being in hot houses, right? Because they're not planning on doing this tomorrow. They're gonna do it like in 10 years, y'all. But they're grooming us to be able to be in 80-degree houses when it's 115 out there. They're getting our minds, they're getting our kids used to hot houses. That way, when they're older, they're gonna be at 85, using less Freon, using less whatever. That's pretty crazy, y'all. And they started it just like that, y'all. AC went from $150 to $400 like that overnight.
Hey, look. So I was having a conversation with my maintenance man, right? And we was pretty much talking about, because I asked, I'm like, bro, why is there so many people moving out? And he's like, bro, everybody getting kicked out. I'm like, damn, why? He's like, bro, ain't nobody paying their rent. And it made me think, like, bro, this economy is getting wicked. It's wicked
Crazy.
out here.
It's
Like,
crazy.
it's spooky. Like, prices is going up. Like, apartments, 1-bedroom apartments, shoot, like 1700 Especially, like, I'm in a nice area, so, like, apartment, like 1700 I'm like, so it could be tough on people, especially, like, if you working paycheck to paycheck, right? And you got kids and you're not making a decent amount of money, it can be really tough on people. And on top of that, we was talking and he was saying, like, he knew someone that makes 6 figures and he still working paycheck to paycheck. So when he said that, I'm like, hold on now. He making 6 figures and he still working paycheck to paycheck? I'm like, all right, now it's gotta be like he gotta be living above his means, because ain't no way you telling me he making 6 figures and he living paycheck to paycheck. But then again, like, you never know someone's situation. But I don't know. It's just crazy that you making 6 figures and you working paycheck to paycheck.
Dre, do you see people in the entertainment world dabbling in witchcraft and dark arts and the occult? Do you connect that to Ariana Grande coming out drenched in blood in this video?
I'm just seeing that for the first time. I've seen pictures of her extremely skinny. Oh God, the whole thing. Okay, so Hollywood, this is interesting because I was just talking about this on another podcast, and I even said to my boyfriend afterwards, I'm like, do I sound crazy? There is such an intense infiltration of social media posts. Like, I when I open my Instagram, I only look at the first 5 posts and then I'm done. I follow like 3,000 people, but I look at the first 5 and then I'm done because I'm just there to post something. And every single one of them is on Satanic Hollywood. And I don't leave my house too. So, and I was never a real player in Hollywood, which is probably why it wasn't such a big deal for me to walk away from it. Who keeps walking? I keep seeing someone walking back and forth. Oh my God, I hope the back of my head wasn't all my freaking extensions showing and everything.
No,
got the bullet hole in the back of my head. Adriana. But yeah, like the work I've done, like even the actors I've worked with, not anywhere near. I haven't worked with that many people, really. Like I feel like I've just never been on the inside of it. So I am one of the fans looking in. I am the audience looking in, and I do see a lot of that stuff. But I said this on this podcast the other day. I have like symbols, tattoos on my body, right? Like I have an eye of Horus on my finger, or I have crucifixes all over the house because I was raised, Catholic, and I'm not really that anymore. But these are they're relics. I collect all kinds of relics and things that that resonate for me somewhere inside probably my DNA and my deep history, without getting too crazy. But we're talking about the satanic thing, so we might as well go there with it all.
Let's do it.
But I could very easily see people, because everyone is so quick to condemn these days and to hate and to throw blame on everything and everyone except for themselves, where, I think a lot of us could become a lot more grounded in our own DNA and remember who we are as human beings and where we come from, and what, that there's just so much more to us, I think. And I'm realizing that now after the last few years. I mean, maybe it takes 50 years to get here, but a lot of kids are also opening up to this idea.
AI predicted every major event over the next few years via Sambucha. Who did AI predict to be the next president of the United States?
AI predicted Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
They did not predict
No?
Dwayne the Rock. These are like actual politicians.
Okay.
They predicted J.D. Vance over Gavin Newsom.
Okay.
Not The Rock.
I thought, hey, listen, if he runs, I think he might have a shot.
He
No, I
might
don't
have
know.
a shot. Who knows?
Oh.
Who did they predict to be the winner of the World Cup?
I'm going to say they went like Spain.
They did go Spain.
Yeah, of course they
They
did.
went Spain over
Italy.
France.
Of course.
France was in the finals in the last one against Argentina.
Mbappe.
Who did they predict to be the first company to be worth over $10 trillion?
Is it Tesla with Elon Musk?
It is not Tesla, but that was on their list.
What about Apple?
Not Apple.
Microsoft?
No, it starts with an N.
NVIDIA?
NVIDIA. They predicted it to be worth over $10 trillion by 2029.
That's crazy.
Did they predict World War III to happen? And if so, when?
I'm going to say yes.
They did. You're correct.
And they're going to say next year.
No. Oh my God. He's wishing death upon the human race.
Not at all.
They predicted it to happen on November 21st, 2030, starting around the Taiwan conflicts.
But no. Hold on.
I don't get what they just put a shirt on them and a different colored shirt and enhance the colors and whatnot. Why is it? It looks like her. Am I missing
so this
something?
isn't like some AI generated random. Someone's literally crafting these profiles and these pictures. Like, there's a human behind this, bro.
You know who's in trouble with this economy? The radio. You know who else is in trouble? Magazines are in trouble, my friends. You know who else loses? The newspaper. Because Gucci buying this ad in the New York Magazine for $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 is Clown City. I think you get a Twitter account and you start interacting with your community. Get 30 interns and you make much more ROI. Want to see something cool? Come on, let's zoom in over here. We have 125 people watching me on Ustream. How many of you read the newspaper every day? Go. No, 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 hell no, 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 yes, yes, no, no, newspaper, question mark, no, 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 no. Television is going to lose because these are places where you are paying obnoxious pricing for your advertising dollars. Because not only are the prices on the ROI, CPM, CMOs, whatever, I don't care, CTR, whatever, the value they get on the back end is so much higher. And here's a better one, my friends. They can track it. You don't have to guess what this meant. That this is the new space to spend money on because the costs are much lower and you get true value on your return on your investment. But I don't see companies going away from online marketing, and when they start embracing social media marketing, it's really gonna explode. I'm telling you. And then listen, that's a decade from now, but see you next time.
When you go to school, what do they have right on the wall? Damn near in every class. They have a map.
Right.
It's pre-programming. They're showing you subconsciously when you walk into a classroom. Oh, okay, so Africa is actually not as big. So you're thinking that all through life.
Right.
It makes sense. So it's these psychological operations that they always do and play on your psyche. This is why, schools, they're indoctrination camps. Why did Rockefeller fund all the school systems that we know today?
You did?
Yes. Is why college is a scam. Why are prisons parallel to school?
Because they want to get people ready.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard that one. The prison and the
No, the school is really a prison.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, the warden, who was that?
The
principal.
lunchroom.
Yeah, the warden is the principal. The CEO is the teacher.
Right.
You hit the yard for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Lunch.
Cafeteria.
Same shit.
the times. I'll tell you this.
Ordering from Amazon can put your family in danger and no one's talking about it. So let's talk about it. When I do Amazon Flex, when you sign up, you go through verification, you go through background check. When you go sign in, they do a Face ID check, meaning you take a picture of yourself and they do scan, and then you go pick up packages. Here's the issue. Here's where your family can be in danger for when you order from Amazon. There are accounts, there are people, if you drive around the facilities, you will be able to spot them right away. They will go, legitimate people will go pick up packages and then will transfer to people who don't work for Amazon. It'll be like third parties. It'll be people who's not verified, undocumented, so forth. And they will transfer those packages and those people will go deliver. Amazon does not do an ID check during the actual delivery part. So because delivery drivers have access to your property, they do drive onto your property, they walk around, and then as a father, this concerns me a lot because I have kids playing in my backyard, in my front yard, and whenever somebody drives up, I assume, especially if they work for Amazon, they're verified. But a lot of these drivers who are undocumented, they don't have verification. They just show up and they deliver a package, they scan it and deliver, leave. You never know because there's no verification. You never know who these people are. You assume because they work for Amazon, they have been verified. But I don't want to blast these people. I don't want to put their pictures, their cars, I don't want to put them on here. But if you drive around these Amazon Flex facilities, you will be able to see couple cars parked together and they transfer from one car to the next and they keep doing it. And these people are not verified. They don't have background checks and they just show up at your property and they leave, they deliver and leave, but you never know their intentions. Because you guys have seen the case with the FedEx guy and that guy was verified. So this can put your family in jeopardy, and I wish Amazon would have live, for example, while you're delivering every fifth or sixth stop, you have to take a picture of yourself. This would definitely prevent fraud, but they're not doing it. And if Amazon, reaches out, I can tell them more. But if they decide to sue me for this, I'm claiming whistleblower protection. So just so you know, be aware that not all Amazon drivers are Amazon drivers. If you have any other thoughts, leave them in the comments. I'm curious to know.
I remember they used to do that at when I used to work for Spark, y'all. And the people, you know who they are. You can spot them a mile away. Who's a Spark driver? I never did Amazon, but I could see people doing that, paying them, pennies on the dollar for them to do your route, and you take all the money, y'all. Especially people that are in need, people that are undocumented. It happens out there. So like you said, be careful. But anyways, y'all, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Made it this far, you know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys check out my playlist, y'all. I do a lot of videos. Also, my second channel, Segovia After Dark. We do uploads over there a lot, y'all. And do random TikToks. We do conspiracy deep dives. Like the one I'm going to get into next is just UFOs, alien stories, just a deep dive on those type of things. So if you guys are interested, Segovia After Dark, link is down below. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Later.